Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown. This is Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, let's get right into this. We got quite a few topics to get to, and I want to start out with the Hall of Fame. But first off, before I do that, if you noticed the last video, the Chicago Cubs 2016 World Series flag was in the background. If you haven't seen that video, watch it. I took it down live as I was making that video, I should say. And I promised that the Bronco flag would be back up. Well, you can tell in the background, it's back up. So it's on to football, guys. So let's start with the Hall of Fame. Now, last Saturday, there were three former Denver Broncos were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Steve Atwater on Saturday in the class of 2020, and Peyton Manning and John Lynch in the class of 2021. Now, the reason why there was two of them back-to-back days, obviously they didn't have the Hall of Fame induction class of 2020 due to the COVID virus. So they did it on Saturday and they did it on Sunday. And Steve Atwater was amazing. It was a long time overdue. It was great to see him inducted. And it was a really, really great speech that he gave. And then on Sunday, it was, like I said, it was Peyton Manning, and then it was followed immediately by John Lynch. So that was pretty cool, back-to-back Broncos. Now, understandably, Peyton Manning went in as a Colt and a Bronco, and Paxton Lynch, and John Lynch, I should say, he went in primarily as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He did make reference to the Broncos, which was commendable. I appreciate that. He did say, though, that the best landing spot for him after Tampa Bay was Denver, Colorado, and the Denver Broncos. So that was awesome. Peyton Manning thanked the Broncos, Pat Bowden, and the organization for bringing him over. He thanked John Elway for bringing him over, and I thought that was great. So if you haven't seen any of their Hall of Fame speeches, go to YouTube, look it up, and both speeches were great. I'll get into a little bit of Peyton Manning and his Hall of Fame comments and stuff in just a little bit. In fact, I'll do it right now. How's that? So that being said, let's get right to it. Tom Brady attended Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame induction, and here's why he said he attended. He said, and I quote, "I want to make sure he isn't coming back into active play," end quote. When Manning said that, he invited his good friend Tom Brady to be at the induction. The fans gave Brady a loud round of boos, to which Brady turned and said, because Brady was sitting in the front, he turned and said to the fans, "What's that about?" Well, what's that about is simply this. There was a lot of Steeler fans there because there was a Steeler induction. There was a lot of Colt fans because of Edgerrin James was inducted, as well as Peyton Manning. And there's a lot of Bronco fans because of Peyton Manning, John Lynch, and Steve Atwater. So of course he's going to get booed. But it was hilarious to see that Tom Brady took it in stride, and he basically just turned around and goes, "What's that about?" So I thought that was pretty cool. That was great on Peyton Manning's part. It was great on Tom Brady's part to just play the part and go along with it. So that was pretty cool. So like I said, if you haven't seen the speeches by any three of the Bronco inductees, Steve Atwater, Peyton Manning, and John Lynch, please go to YouTube and look it up. They're worth the watch. All right, let's get to some other Bronco news. This involves Cody Conway. Now, Denver Broncos offensive tackle Cody Conway season appears to be over before it even began. Conway suffered a torn ACL in practice last Wednesday. Conway has bounced around the league for a couple of years, but has never played in a regular season NFL game. Well, that's unfortunate. Here it is, practice. The guy's trying to make the team. He's an offensive tackle. The Broncos could definitely use, offensive line help. And then he goes down with the torn ACL. It just seems, I don't know what's going on. Last year, it was Cortland Sutton. and then there was other issues with Von Miller, the year before. Then there was Bradley Chubb. He tore his ACL. It's on and on and on. I don't know what the league. I don't know if it's a league issue. I don't know if it's a training issue. I don't know if it's a field condition issue. I'm not sure what it is. It just seems like there's a lot more injuries, whether it's contact or it's just going up against the dummy sled. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, I know these guys are bigger too. I mean, they're 300 some pounds. Some of them are like 295, but they're built like a Sherman tank. And I guess the knees just can't take it. They just can't take that weight and that cut and that planting. So I'm not sure what the answer is. But unfortunately, Cody Conway's season looks like it's over before it ever got started. All right, let's go to a Washington football team. Now, I'm just going to read it and then I'll comment, guys. The Washington football team ownership has taken yet another step in distancing themselves from Native Americans or Indians as we all knew them before. The team has announced that the once popular fan attire of headdresses and face paint will no longer be allowed inside the stadium. The team also said that a new nickname will not be anything of a linkage to Native American imagery. Why? Let me just ask. Let me pose a question to you guys, and please send a comment. Post a comment and give me your answer. I really would appreciate an answer as to this question. What is wrong with honoring and respecting a heritage and a heritage like the Native Americans? What is wrong with that? Is it wrong to want to pay tribute and respect to the first founders, so to speak, of this country? I mean, they're not degrading them. They did wear face paint. They did wear headdresses. They did have teepees. And they did have, tomahawks and spears and things of that nature. What's wrong with that? That's what they were. That was their heritage. That's the people that they were. What is wrong with paying tribute and respect to Redskins or Indians or Blackhawks or Cherokees or Aztecs or Seminoles? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's not just one team, one city, one organization that says, hey, let's be the Redskins, and we're going to come out there and we're going to have headdresses and we're going to have face paint and we're just going to be mean. No, it's not that. Look around college. Look around NFL. Look around hockey. Look around baseball. Now you got the Cleveland Indians going to the Cleveland Guardians. What the heck is a Guardian? Guardian of what? The city? No, guarding the city would be. I digress, guys. I'm going on. I get it. But my question again is, what is it wrong to have a mascot and represent the heritage of this country? Yes or no? And you can comment too and say yes, this is why, or no, this is why. I'd really appreciate your comments, guys. Thanks. All right, let's move on. Let's go to hockey right now. Darren Helm. Now, Darren Helm signed a 1-year, $1 million deal with the Colorado Avalanche after playing 14 seasons in Detroit. Helm said he has mixed emotions leaving Detroit, where his family has lived and he has played all those years. However, he said he's excited to play for Colorado, which is a contending team. I can understand. You're in a place for 14 years. You're used to the organization. Your family's been raised there for 14 years. I don't know how old his kids are, but let's say that the kids were born in Detroit area and now they're 14 and now they got to uproot for 1 year to go to Colorado. Does his family, I should say, stay in Detroit? And then he rents a place, stays in Colorado for a year? I don't think that's viable, especially if he has young kids. I don't think that works out. So I understand uprooting after all of those years. But I'm glad that he's happy to be on the Avalanche, and I hope he does well. He's a defenseman. It looks like he's going to play on the fourth line and be used primarily in penalty killing and possibly on some power plays. Not sure, but definitely on the fourth line and in penalty killing. So welcome to Colorado, Darren Helm, and love to see you this upcoming season. Can't wait. All right, let's go to an unfortunate thing here. This is a college passing. Bobby Bowden, the legendary Florida State coach Bobby Bowden, has passed away at the age of 91. He's the second all-time winningest coach in Division I history. At Florida State, he will always be remembered as the ultimate gentleman, Christian, husband, and leader. Bobby Bowden was an amazing, amazing coach for the Florida State. Here we go, Florida State Seminoles. So again, another Indian reference. But anyways, Bobby Bowden, 91 years old, had a great life, had a great career, and Florida State is definitely going to miss him. College football is going to miss him, and we as football fans in general will always remember Bobby Bowden. What a great coach, what a great heritage, what a great legacy. Bobby Bowden, rest in peace. All right, let's go to Kirk Cousins. Now, Kirk Cousins, the Minnesota Viking quarterback, was activated off the COVID protocol and reinstated on Minnesota's active roster. Cousins has refused to get the vaccine and says it's a personal and private reason. He also said he will follow the league's protocol regarding non-vaccinated players. Now, guys, if you remember from past videos, if a player is removed from the team due to COVID-19 contraction or around somebody who has it, and they have to be removed, and the team ultimately has to forfeit that game, well, that could fall on Kirk Cousins' shoulders. I mean, he could be directly responsible for the Vikings taking a loss and or being penalized financially because he refuses to get vaccinated. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. Okay? That's a personal choice. I get it. But when you're putting your team possibly in, not danger per se, I mean, but in I should say, when you put your team in a situation where they could lose a game because you personally, somebody on that team contracted the virus because they did not want to get vaccinated for whatever reason, and that's their choice, then basically they're putting themselves above the team. Again, is that right or is it wrong? In my opinion, if you're a team player, the team comes first. But if there's a personal issue like family situations, faith, maybe skeptical of the government, whatever, yeah, I can totally understand why a person would refuse to not get vaccinated. I'm just saying, Kirk Cousins being the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, he directly could impact how well the Vikings do this year in relationship to him not playing because he may be in quarantine. I'm not saying he is going to. I'm not saying I want him to. I'm just saying that's a possibility. So I just had to bring that out, guys, because it could be that way for a lot of teams. We don't know who got vaccinated and who hasn't, but the NFL's made it very, very poignant that if you have to forfeit games because you don't have the players to play, then that directly falls on those players that refuse to get vaccinated. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen, last Friday, the Buffalo Bills announced they have locked up their franchise quarterback, Josh Allen, for a 6-year extension. The deal is worth $258 million, of which $150 million is guaranteed. There you go, Denver. If we thought we had a chance to get Josh Allen by any type of trade or Buffalo Bill ownership GM fallout, we could put all that to rest, guys. Josh Allen's not going anywhere. And Buffalo has gotten their quarterback for another 6 years. So just like facing Patrick Mahomes every year for the next 10 years, we're going to have to face Josh Allen for at least 6 more years whenever Denver plays him. I believe it's only once every 4 years, but still. It could be playoffs. It could be wild card. It could be championship game, whatever. But Josh Allen is not going anywhere. He's in Buffalo for the next 6 years. All right, let's go to the Bronco linebacker signing. Now, last Saturday, the Denver Broncos signed Barrington Wade from the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. Wade will slide into the spot that Josie Jewell plays, as Jewell is recovering from a groin injury. Now, Barrington Wade is a linebacker, obviously. So he's going to probably come in on certain packages. He's probably going to, obviously he's going to fill in for Josie Jewell in the preseason while Jewell's recovering from a groin injury. So that's good to have somebody of that caliber that can come in, step in, and take over a very, very important spot in middle linebacker. So welcome Barrington Wade to the Denver Broncos. Excuse me, guys, and can't wait to see you in preseason, and hopefully you make the team and we see you in regular season. All right, now let's go to the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Now, in the first preseason game, which is this Saturday, August 14th, at Minnesota, Drew Lock will be the starter. In Game 2 next week, Vic Fangio feels having both quarterbacks start a game will be a good job as to how each player handles their responsibility. Then in the last preseason game, Game 3 should provide a clear-cut starter. Now, Game 1, which is this Saturday against Minnesota, is gonna feature Drew Lock to start. Game 2 is going to feature Teddy Bridgewater. So each quarterback is going to have a chance to start a preseason game. How long do they play? I'm not sure. There's only 3 preseason games this year, guys, because there's a 17-game season. So week 1 obviously goes to Drew Lock. Let's say he plays a half. Let's say he plays only 1 quarter because it's first game. But then again, if he only plays 1 quarter in Game 1, does that mean that Teddy Bridgewater only plays 1 quarter in Game 2? And if Teddy Bridgewater in Game 2 plays a half, but Drew Lock only plays 1 quarter, how is that fair? So I'm not sure how it's going to work out. But I do know that Drew Lock is starting Game 1. Teddy Bridgewater starting Game 2. I'm not sure who's going to start Game 3. But like Vic Fangio said, it should be a good test as to who the starting quarterback is going to be to open up the season against the New York Giants in New York. All right, let's go to a last topic. Now, this last topic is about Saturday's game. Now, the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings are holding joint practices today, Wednesday, as well as Thursday before their first preseason game for each team, which is Saturday, August 14th. The game will be at 2 p.m. Denver time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. The game is going to be televised on NFL Network. Now, all reports from today's scrimmage or today's practice reported that the Vikings looked horrible in the scrimmage against Denver. And Teddy Bridgewater looked phenomenal in his scrimmage with the Broncos against Minnesota. Wow. That's great news for Broncos fans. Now, there is a footnote to that. With Teddy Bridgewater looking phenomenal, Drew Lock threw an interception in his time during the scrimmage. But remember, Drew Lock is starting Saturday. So that doesn't bode well with me. If Teddy Bridgewater was phenomenal, but Drew Lock throws an interception, and yet Drew Lock is getting the start on Saturday, just 3 days away, I'm not liking that. Now, tomorrow is their final scrimmage against the Vikings. And should Drew Lock look better, well, then I'll feel a lot better about Saturday. But if he lays another egg and has another interception and plays less than Teddy Bridgewater, I'm not liking Fangio's choice for Drew Lock starting Saturday. Because I'm telling you guys, there's only 3 games. And I don't care if Drew Lock doesn't start any of them. I want the best quarterback on the Bronco team to play and start against the Giants in week 1 of the season. Preseason is, yes, to find out who does what, how well they do, what the issues are, who's the starters. I get that. I understand Vic Fangio wants to see what Drew Lock has. But if he's not doing well in scrimmage, how in heaven's name is he going to do well in a game situation where, again, he's not understanding the defense? I hope he does better tomorrow in scrimmage. I'm going to be watching the game on Saturday. I hope all of you are going to be watching the game, or at least recording it and watching it later. We got to see what this Bronco team has. And if the Broncos are going to have a chance to go into the playoffs and hopefully go deep in the playoffs, then they need a quarterback that's solid. And right now, I'm leaning towards Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment line. Let me know what you guys think. And I appreciate your comments, and I answer every single one that people put out. I appreciate it. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll talk to you next week. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your week, and enjoy the game on Saturday. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.